Okay, kids at weddings. This is like, I don't know. This is a toss-up to me. Because, you know, you need the flower girls. Although I think I decided I'm going to have a flower gay. I just want Graydon to like walk down the aisle and just like throw fucking petals at people's heads.
What up, you little fuck?
Okay, guys, I'm doing something really fucking stupid right now. We have an emergency debrief situation. Hi, this is Hallie from the streets of New York. Guys, I had every intention of staying in last night. Welcome back to Extra Dirty Motherfuckers. How is everyone doing? I literally just hopped off a flight from New York. It was a 6 a.m. little bitch ass. I've been awake. I haven't slept in 24 hours and I feel fucking amazing. I thought we would start this episode with a little shot of Tito's just to get the creative juices flowing. And I feel like that's the only way I can get through this right now. Not to sound like a fucking alcoholic, but like that's literally the only way I think my creative juices will flow. And also, I know these episodes come out on Thursdays, so like have a shot with me if you're watching. Like, why don't we do that? Let's start Thursday off. Let's have the weekend's right around the corner. Let's have a good time. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay. This is a fat fucking shot. Production's trying to kill me. Tito's. Or hand sanitizer. I haven't decided yet. All right. Okay, so where should we start? I want to start with talking about love, okay? Let's start this episode. It's brought to you by love and being in love, and the fact that it was thrown in my face so much this past weekend needs to be studied. My best friend got engaged. I touched on that a little bit on last week's episode, but it officially happened. So I want to touch on that a little bit. I also went to a wedding on Saturday, a beautiful influencer wedding. My friend Jazz got married. It was honestly one of the most stunning venues I've ever been at for a wedding. I haven't been to many weddings, but this wedding in particular is beautiful. Apparently it is where Taylor Swift recorded the Blank Space music video or something like that. Something a Swiftie would know, but she is a Swiftie and she was loving that. The weather was supposed to be so bad and she got what's it called? An Etsy witch. It was supposed to be raining all weekend. So she went on Etsy and got this witch to perform like a hex or something so it wouldn't rain, and it fucking worked. So now all over TikTok, it's like viral about this like Etsy witch. And I've seen so many videos about people being like, oh my God, I was trying to gatekeep this witch on Etsy and now like Jazz exposed the witch. Because it worked. It was supposed to be like torrential downpours, and she was like, no, like this Etsy witch is gonna like get me through the weekend. It was blue skies and birds fucking tweeting. It was gorgeous weather. So everyone in Montauk, everyone in Nantucket was like, thank you, Jazz, for the beautiful weather this weekend, because it was due to that fucking Etsy witch. So this wedding, it was full of influencers. We were calling it the Influencer Met Gala. And it was honestly really fun to see influencers in a setting where they weren't there for work or like any deliverables or like having to be professional, in a setting where like you're surrounded by a bunch of people that work with brands and like where you have to kind of be buttoned up. So it was really nice to see these influencers like let loose a bit, you know, hit the vino and drink the wine and have a shot of tequila and kind of be like menaces. And it was lovely to see. A lot of people were just getting organic content. I know I saw a lot of comments, people being like, oh my God, everyone's phones were out, blah, blah, blah. And there were so many TikToks. I'm like, influencers are influencers because they enjoy creating content. That's how they got to where they are. So the fact that there was a bunch of like videos and organic content from that weekend and people were like, oh my God, everyone on their phones out. I'm like, that's what they love doing. So like, let them cook. They have a podcast, Jazz and Hallie Kate. They have a podcast called Delusional Diaries. And I remember seeing a clip on my For You page and it was like, who's going to be like the drunkest at the wedding? And they thought it was going to be like me or this guy named Keon. And trust me, guys, I was fucking cross-eyed. My glasses had to stay on the whole night. I was running around like a chicken that just got her head chopped off. I was running around the wedding like the Tasmanian devil. I was a force to be reckoned with. I couldn't tell you how many cocktails I had. And yeah, it was a great time. And they have such a like cute little love story and they seem so in love with each other. And I'm really happy for her. So that was Saturday. The night before Saturday, Friday night, my best friend Lauren got engaged. And the thing is with engagements, I don't know, you know, it's hard to say because I'm so single, but like I'm trying to think about what kind of control or input I'm going to want to have into my proposal, because I feel like my friend Lauren, took so much like creative control and guidance over her own proposal. And I'm like, how much do you want to like leave that up to the guy? Or like, do you want to plan out what weekend you're getting engaged and how you're going to get engaged and who's going to be invited to your engagement party? Like, how much does a guy actually have say in that? Like, I know he didn't like have much say in like what the ring even looked like. Like, she even built that herself. It's a beautiful ring, and I guess she's the one that has to wear it. But it was interesting to see, because I was like, Lauren, like, stop stressing out about the engagement. It's gonna happen at like before the end of May. Like, she knew that, and she was like, if it's after May, like, I'm gonna be so fucking mad at you. She was like giving him shit for the past month. But I'm like, let him get down on one knee when he's like ready to get down on one knee. You know, like, if you know it's gonna happen, does it really matter how it happens? Like, I'm really wondering, like, let me know, because I feel like for me, I would just care about getting the piece of jewelry. Not like I wouldn't really care about the setting it's in or like when and where it's happening. If I know it's going to happen, then I feel like that would make me happy enough. So anyways, we went to a decoy dinner. We brought her out, and then he had this little setup on the roof. He didn't even have a photographer or anything like that. It was a very private moment. He even texted me before being like, wait, could you like Uber package like a tripod to me, because like I want to like record it on my own phone. I'm like, get like an Octobuddy, stick it to your phone and like put it in the corner. I don't know what to tell you, but he did a good job, and hopefully he only has to do that once, because it was stressful for everyone. But she's happy, she's engaged now. So after that Sunday, I Ubered to Connecticut after getting back from Long Island where the wedding was. I Ubered back, and then I had to Uber back to Connecticut to go to the engagement party, which was lovely. And again, beautiful weather and just like lots of love. And I'm really happy for my friends that are successful in their romantic lives. But yeah, that like leads to me like another like question I thought of, because she's like, oh, obviously you're going to be a bridesmaid in my wedding. And I was like, like, do I have to give a speech? Like, where's the bachelorette party gonna be? Like, are you doing a destination wedding? These things sound expensive at the end of the day, and I love to celebrate my friends' love, but I'm like kind of like, I don't like love public speaking, and I'm wondering if anyone's like ever like, obviously I'm gonna do it, and I'm like, I was watching Hallie Kate give the maid of honor speech for Jazz, and it was so cute. She was so nervous beforehand, but she absolutely ate that fucking shit up. I'm like, what if I do it and I like can't deliver? Like, I like second guess myself, especially when it's something that's like, you know, sentimental and close to your heart, on like subjects of like love and stuff. Like, I'm gonna have to like be reading it word for word. I even told her like maybe we could do that like teleprompt thing where I record it beforehand. Maybe I'll like whip out production and like get podcast equipment and like just do a little segment on my podcast, and then we'll just like put it on a teleprompter for everyone at the wedding. I was like, that even would be a better idea, but like I'm gonna probably just have to bite the bullet. But I don't know. Like, I wonder, and this made me like lead to think, like, I wonder if anyone's been asked to be a bridesmaid. Not saying I would ever do this. Like, obviously I'm gonna be the maid of honor in a wedding, but it made me think, like, say you're not that close with someone and someone asks, will you be a bridesmaid? And I feel like sometimes people must do that just to like fill, you know, bridesmaid slots. So I wonder how close these people are to some people in these bridal parties. Like, is it ever appropriate to say no? Cause like, if someone asked me to be a bridesmaid, it's so different when it's a maid of honor, but if someone asked me to be a bridesmaid in a wedding and I was like not that close to them, I think I would say no. That's like an expense. Not that I'm like cheap or anything, but like it gets expensive. Also, it's a lot of work and planning, and I'm a very type B person. And like, if you're not that close to someone, like, how do you say no? Do you just say you're busy? Or that you just don't want to spend the money? Like, I'm wondering, is that rude? I don't know. I'm just like asking myself questions out loud right now. But I feel like there must be a way where like you can turn down being a bridesmaid. Or sometimes it's like even inappropriate for a bride to ask you to be a bridesmaid if it doesn't make any sense. I'm trying to think about what else happened at the wedding. There was like a lot of hot guys there, like low key. Like, I feel like if I wanted to, I probably could have made out with someone on the dance floor. Also, there was like no adults. Like, I didn't see adult in sight. Now that I think about it, it was like everyone was 27. I swear everyone was between the ages of 24 and 30. It was like almost like I'm trying to think now, like obviously there was like the parents were there, but other than that, I feel like there was very limited real adults there. It was really fun. Like, I would go again. I get why people have weddings now. Like, I get why people throw the party. Like, it was like an open bar, which, by the way, is my worst enemy because they will rue the day because they always conquer me. I can't like be around an open bar. There was an open buffet. There was like a dessert table. There was cigarettes. I brought those, I think. But like, I don't know. But a lot of people were staying. It was at a castle. And a lot of people were staying in the rooms of the castle. So a lot of people like just kept like venturing all around. And we'd go like to people's rooms and touch up and like, you know, take some shots and yada yada bing bong. And then we'd come back down to the dance floor. The DJ was really good. But there was definitely some talent at that wedding. Now, there was this one guy that was really cute. But you know, there was like a lot of pretty girls there. Obviously, it was like all influencers. So I don't know. I was also just saying, like, I feel like everyone right now is getting engaged and married. And I was just telling someone that, and they're like, just wait, next it's going to be like baby showers. And I said, fuck that. If one of my best friends got pregnant right now, I would be like mad at them. Is that okay? I would be like, what the fuck? I would be like mourning a death almost, because I would be like, we can't go out anymore. Like, your life's over. Goodbye. Goodbye to the streets. Like, once you have a kid, I feel like you have to like do kid stuff. Birthday parties. And not the kinds I like to attend. Who's going to go to gospel with me? Who's going to go to Little Sister with me? You can't bring a baby at a zero bond. Like, these are things I think about. I'm also like trying to think now, like, when I get married, because the day will come. I'm going to lock down one of these motherfuckers at some point. And they're going to have to deal with me, okay? At least for my first marriage. Because let's be honest, I'll probably have to. Like, will I be a bridezilla? I try to think about that. Am I going to be like that annoying fucking cunt bridezilla? Where I'm going to be like, I'll probably want most creative control over my own wedding. Because, like, men don't have good taste in this shit. And if they do, I don't know if we're batting for the same team, babe. You know? Like, weddings are like such like a curated, like acquired, like personal touch of personality and style and aesthetic that you all want in one big bunch. Like, I know Lauren is already planning our wedding and she's meeting with venues next week. I'm not even fucking kidding. She's the most type A person. I'm type B, which makes me a little bit nervous. Honestly, Lauren will probably be helping plan my wedding. But honestly, I feel like it depends who you marry. I could get married at Home Depot and probably be happy. Okay, let's do wedding hot takes. The first one is, if you can't afford to pay for your bridal party's dresses, don't make those dresses mandatory. Yeah, I think I agree with this one. If like you really want a specific dress, I mean, the wedding I was just at, the dress code was black, which I loved because it's so easy to find a black dress. And it was also like chic. It like was the whole aesthetic. Like the only person wearing a different color was Jazz and everyone else was in black. I feel like for bridesmaids, there should be like a limit to how much you spend if you're making them pay, if that makes any sense. I feel like a color scheme you can choose. You can choose the shade of what dress you want your bridal party to wear, but everyone has different body types too. Not every dress looks the same on everyone. And I feel like people should be shopping for their own body types and not have to like conform to like what the bride wants. Like, I feel like, does that make sense? Yeah, I feel like that is a bit on the controlling side if you're like dictating what your bridesmaids are wearing. And yeah, I also agree. I feel like people should be shopping for themselves and what looks good on their body and not have to all wear the same thing. I feel like everyone's wearing the same thing. You like kind of look like penguins, you know, like penguins in a row, like little ducks in a line. Like, everyone has their own personal style and that's how they should shop for their bridal. Like, you know, they're paying for it. And if you want them to wear a specific dress, you should be fronting the bill. And that's how I feel about it. Okay, let's do the next one. Sunday weddings. I don't want to be fucking hungover on a Monday. People work. I don't, but people do. Other people have work on Mondays. Also, there's something about being hungover on a Monday that's just like very dark to me. I feel like Sunday weddings shouldn't be a thing. Saturday weddings are fine. No, Saturday weddings are ideal. I feel like everyone has weddings on Saturdays. And Friday is like the travel day where people get to the venue or whatever. Usually, typically. I also am not the biggest fan of people having weddings on holiday weekends. I don't love that, but it usually works out that more people can attend because they have more time to travel and stuff. So I guess if you are doing a destination wedding, a longer weekend works. But yeah, I would say no for Sunday weddings. Okay, next. The bridesmaid should pay for the bride's portion of the bachelorette trip. I've seen this go both ways where it's like the bridesmaid should pay and like the bride shouldn't have to pay that much. I've seen like people do that. But I feel like if you're like picking like Ibiza and you're like making all your bridesmaids like buy their own plane tickets and all that shit and like go out there, you should be at least funding like the villa. Okay? Like the stay. Because, you know, I feel like that's a little like out of touch. Just be expecting that everyone's in the same budget because we're not, you know? And you just have to be like a little bit self-aware when it comes to that stuff. But then again, I've never been married. I probably would make my friends go to Ibiza. And if one of my besties couldn't afford to get on a plane and go to Ibiza, then I would front their bill or make my husband do it because we're marrying rich out here. That's what I would do. I would make my husband pay for the girls. That's what's going to happen one day. I'm just be like, honey, you're paying for everything. Thank you. Next one. If you're the maid of honor, you have to give a speech. I feel like, unfortunately, you do. Although I'm scared to and I don't want to, but like I love my friend more than it outweighs me being a little scared to give a speech in front of a group of people about love and romance and their story. And these are two of my best friends getting married. So like I feel like it would be so wrong if I didn't give a speech. Like I'm going to give a speech. I want to make that very clear. Like I will be giving a speech. But I'm just fucking scared to because then people are like listening to you and like it's like from the heart. Like, I know how to talk about, like, dick and shit. Like, what if I say the wrong thing in front of, like, the parents and the grandparents? We all know Memorial Day weekend what happened. That's the couple I'm giving a speech for. So they all know our background story. So, you know, I feel like it depends. No, I feel like it doesn't depend. I feel like you should give a speech if you're a maid of honor. And you're only going to have to do it once. And you should just suck it the fuck up. And at the end of the day, giving a speech in front of a big crowd of people is a good life skill to have. So... you know, you just got to bite the bullet and take it on the chin. But yeah, I do feel like you have to give a speech. Okay, next one. The groom doesn't have to be involved in the wedding planning if they're bad at planning. I don't think they should be involved. They should mind their fucking business and just give them, like, front their credit card. That's how I feel. Like, in what world do men have, like, anything to do with a wedding? I feel like that's kind of odd, to be honest. Their only involvement should be passing over their credit card, and I'll stand by that. I just think that a wedding, yes, it is a celebration of like two people's love, but I feel like it's for the girl at the end of the day. Like if it were up to the men, I don't even know if they would be, you know, willingly spending that much money on a party. Unless maybe they will. Maybe they want to do that. Maybe that's sweet. But I feel like if it means more to the bride should have more say in what goes on. And I feel like, you know, women just pay attention more to detail than men do sometimes. It's all in the details. So yeah, I feel like men should just kind of like, you know, have light opinions, but like kind of keep their hands off of it at the end of the day. If you have a gluten-free guest, so your cake should be gluten-free. Fuck no. 9 times out of 10, that's their choice. They can bring their own fucking gluten-free cake from Stop and Shop. I don't give a fuck. But like, I'm not like, what? You can't please everyone all the time, okay? And you're probably going to have more non-gluten-free guests than gluten-free guests. So please the majority of the people and not like, unless someone has like a severe allergy, maybe get like a baby cake on the side. But, you know, at the end of the day, you can't please everyone. Like everyone's going to have some sort of like dietary restriction. It's 2025. That seems to be like the way it goes. Okay, kids at weddings. This is like, I don't know. This is a toss-up to me because, you know, you need the flower girls. Although I think I decided I'm going to have a flower guy. I just want Graydon to like walk down the aisle and just like throw fucking petals at people's heads and like be like downing nips and stuff and just like ripping it and strutting down the aisle. I think for my wedding, I would only have kids there if it was like they're related to me, like cousins, or if my siblings had kids, like obviously they can come. But I feel like For the welcome party, absolutely not. There should be a 21 and up situation. But for the actual wedding day, I feel like you could have kids. Babies, I don't know. You don't want a fucking baby crying. Like, if you're going to bring a baby, that's your responsibility. And if they start crying during the ceremony, I feel like you should at least be aware of like the nearest exit to handle that. So if you're bringing kids, that's your responsibility, and like make sure like your guest knows to like be handling and surveillancing the situation. I've been a kid at a wedding though, and I feel like I was fine. But honestly, weddings are only fun if you can like get fucked up. Unless you're putting rum into their like little pacifier in their baby bottle. But like at the end of the day, like weddings are fun because it's like everyone's getting drunk and like celebrating love. Like kids won't get that. Okay, next. Cash gifts are better than physical gifts. I feel like kind of, yeah. I've heard like a lot of people just wanting money. Weddings are fucking expensive. I feel like it's also easier just to write a check. No one wants like a new bowl from Williams Sonoma. You know? Unless there's like a, what are they called? Gift registries? Yeah. I mean, I would just be like, write me a fucking check. Cut me a check. So you can like make some money back from the wedding. I mean, I don't really need gifts. I'm trying to think about my own wedding, my hypothetical wedding. I don't know. I guess it depends on like the specific wedding, but I think wedding cash gifts are better, and they're easier and more convenient. You can just hit the Zelle, hit the Venmo. It's like, you know, less hassle, less thinking. When is it acceptable to ask to bring someone as a wedding date? You know, that's a good question. I feel like it really depends on, you know, the bride or like whoever's wedding. Like sometimes people are really weird about plus ones. Sometimes they offer them. But like that's another plate of food like people off the front. That's like another cost. And you don't want like to like add an extra expense on a fucking random dick that you just slang last weekend. You know? Like if I was hooking up with a guy for like probably 3+ months, I would want to bring him to a wedding as it, like I feel like that's fun to like and flirty and like would like maybe convince, I don't know. I feel like it could be kind of fun to like bring a situationship as a wedding guest, but then it could get confusing afterwards because weddings like are really like you're surrounded by so much like love and romance. Do you really want to bring a situationship there? Unless you're like trying to trick them into like wanting to date you. That would be the way to do it, honestly. But I feel like it depends on like the bride's tolerance for a plus one. I don't think I even had a plus one at the wedding I was supposed to go to last week. I think they gave me the option, but like I'm not gonna bring like Joe Schmo I fucked last week. That would just be weird. And then I have to deal with his bitch ass all night. I'm not doing that. Then I'm babysitting at the end of the day. I don't want to babysit a man when I could be running around a wedding with my favorite gays. That's what I was doing. Me and Bran were just like the drunkest bitches at the party, just like running around, taking shots, drinking wine, ripping up the floor. It was so much fun. Like I couldn't do that if I had to deal with the fucking man in the corner. Anyways, that's my take on that. Let's go into the next segment. Okay, next let's go through like you guys DM me all the time. Like I said, always feel free to DM me. I screenshot them, send them to my producer. We have a little giggle because you guys are fucking insane. But let's go through a few of these, and I'm reading these, raw dogging them. I haven't read through them in depth yet, so I will give my honest and true opinions on these and see like what kind of input I can give. The first one is Hallie. I need your help. Anon, please. I've been seeing this guy for a while and everything is great. But when we were first hooking up, he told me he isn't able to come because of a medication he takes, assuming it's antidepressants. He's still able to get and stay hard, and the sex is great. He reassured me that I'm good in bed and that it's just medication, but that he still enjoys the act of it. But how do I, A, not feel self-conscious that I can't make him come because I have a need to please people? Real. And B, how do I end sex without making him feel bad and awkward because he'll pound me for like 20 minutes, which just isn't it for me. No one likes the fucking bunny rabbit treatment, babe. I get it. This is a tricky one because I'm sure this guy is into you and this is something he has to like deal with in every situation. I mean, it fucking sucks. If anyone's on like Prozac, Zoloft, any antidepressant, yes, you need it for your mental health, but it does affect other bodily functions. I've been on Zoloft before, and usually I have the easiest time finishing, but I remember when I was on that medication, it was extremely hard to finish, which can be not only frustrating for like, you know, the person who can't finish, but it's also frustrating for the other party involved. And I'm sure he's super self-conscious about not being able to finish. And I bet you're super self-conscious about like, you know, not being able to like make him finish. I'm the same way. Like I personally love and enjoy like sucking a guy off until completion. And if I can't do that, like I don't even want to have sex with them, to be honest. Cause that's like kind of my thing. And if a guy can't finish from me, like what are we doing here? It's like I get off, so them getting off, and if they can't get off, like that's like half the climb here. But then again, this is a medical issue, and I'm not, you know, slandering medical issues. We all have, you know, I probably should hop on antidepressants at the end of the day too. So like I feel for our boy here. But you shouldn't feel self-conscious about this now. And I also feel like you shouldn't, it could be selfish to say, but like I feel like you shouldn't have to tolerate that if you don't want to. Maybe it's not the right guy in the right time. I mean, maybe he won't be on antidepressants forever. Is that bad to say? But like getting pounded from the back for 20 minutes straight, I would rather read. And I don't like reading. I would literally rather fucking read a book. I'd rather read like a book. That sounds horrible. That's some frat boy fucking. I don't like that shit. But if he's a nice guy, I mean, maybe it'll change, but like probably not. And you got to take things at face value. And I mean, have you suggested maybe he goes down on you? Or like get really good with his hands? Because there's no reason, yeah, maybe he can't finish, but there's no reason he should be pounding you from behind for 20 minutes just so, like, that's selfish on his part. Because we all know doggy style is a finishing move. It's like a finisher. Like, that's how guys finish, which is why he's trying to, like, get himself to finish. He's being selfish. It's making your sexual experience worse for it. So if he's going to want to choose that position for, like, an allotted amount of time, he should at least be like making you finish before he resorts to that. I would take control of the situation and be like, listen, buddy, listen, buckaroo, I know you can't finish, but like go down on me for like 20 minutes if you're gonna pound me from the back for 20 minutes, or like whip out a vibrator. Don't even tell him. Be like, listen, I'm finishing and I'm not fucking leaving until I do. Stand on business. Stand on these bitches' necks. What? You should be finishing every time, whether he has any involvement in it or not. He might just be a beating heart near you at that point, a warm body right next to you, and just whip out your favorite vibrator and look at him in admiration and pretend like he's doing it. But like take charge and communicate. I always say communicate. Like you can't read your mind either. Like a lot of these guys don't know what the fuck they're doing. He could be like really wanting to please you too. Have you ever thought of that? Like maybe he like really wants you to finish, but like doesn't have the tools or doesn't know how. Clearly, he doesn't know what he's doing if he's pounding from behind for 20 minutes. I'm going to say that one more time. Just tell him what you like, or at least like push him in the direction, steer him in the right direction. But I always say like in this situation where like you're not finishing, he's not finishing, whip out a vibrator. Did she say she's not?
I don't think that. I don't know.
If she's getting pounded, I just know she's not finishing. If that's the position they're choosing.
You got me there.
Yeah, I just know she's not finishing. I'm under the assumption if you guys are just doing doggy that you're not finishing. But maybe you are. I'm also a people pleaser. Like I get gratification out of like seeing someone else finish. But if he can't finish and he's telling you it's because of his antidepressants and that really bothers you and makes you feel insecure, choose yourself. Always choose yourself first. You don't want to feel insecure when you're having sex with someone. That's the worst ever. And like, you know, maybe just like part ways. Okay, next one. Hey, Hallie, need your extra dirty advice. In the past month, 3 of my sneaky links have asked me to make a sex tape with them, which is kind of baffling. Men love fucking sex tape. These fucking weird freaks. I have crazy, amazing sex with each and one of them. Girl, fuck you. Like, with each and one of them. So it would honestly be down, but at the same time, I'm a bit hesitant because I've only ever been filmed sex with my long-term high school boyfriend. Never with a casual fuck. Is this a normal thing that people do? Have you ever made a sex tape with a casual hookup? Oh my God, I've made sex tapes with everyone. It's actually a problem and a kink of mine. Every casual hookup I've ever had, I'm like, whip out the camera. I do have a podcast, so like whenever a camera is out, I feel like I perform. I kind of look at sex tapes the same way. It's like almost like I'm on a stage. And I just like love the idea because like these are going to the spank bank. Like these videos are going straight to the spank bank. And there's just something, a thought of a guy like, you know, like jerking off or whatever to like a sex tape of you like sucking them off or whatever. That just brings me gratification. But that is me, and I feel like I'm probably not in the majority there. I feel like people are very hesitant, even with their boyfriends, to make sex tapes because these iClouds get hacked all the fucking time. To me, I think it's hot. Like, I think it's so hot to make a sex tape and then watch it back. Like, you know how, like, sports players, they have, like, film and then, like, film meetings after? That's how I treat sex tapes with my casual hookups. We'll have a sex tape. We'll get all the angles, you know, maybe get a light in there. And, like, I never plan them. But, like, after a fucking tequilas Blanco, I want to be filmed. I also, like, want to see what I look like from, like, a camera perspective. I think it's, like, fun. Maybe I'm just, like, a narcissist. And I just want to see myself. Is that a thing? I don't know. But I would recommend vetting the guy out because, you know, hindsight's always 20/20. There's a couple of these guys that have blessed in my past that I should have absolutely not have blessed them with the beautiful image of me getting back shots from behind and me sucking them sideways into fruition. I shouldn't have done that. But would I do it again? Absolutely. I would do it fucking again. And yeah, I would just say have fun with it. I wouldn't plan it. Like, that's crazy to me. I wouldn't like be texting a guy and be like, I think on Saturday, the 14th, we should film a sex tape. Bring out cameras, lighting, get your tripods ready, production, X, Y, and Z. We'll have a writer. What snacks should we have in the room? What kind of dim do you want the mood lightings on? And what music do you want playing in the background? No, I think it should be on a whim. Like, this is how I do it. I'll be like fooling around with a guy in my bed and then I'll just like, oh my God, film me. This is so fun. That's so hot. And they'll always be like, yep. I mean, just be careful because these videos do get around. Trust me. Don't Google me. But like, these videos do get around, especially if you're in college or if you're in high school. Men love trophies, you know? They're gonna be like, look what I have of this fucking Becky ass bitch. You just want to be careful about that. And you gotta like think about that and decide what you're okay with. Because I think when guys, you know, I like to think that I'm an adult and then men I'm getting with are old enough where they're not like showing every guy. But like sometimes I'm like, I wish they would show their friends the amazing work that I've put into them. But then some of these friends I've already gotten with and they already know. I don't know. Anyways, but I would just be careful. I think it can go both ways. I would say do it. It's fun. It's hot. But at the end of the day, just like be careful. If his name is like Chad, Brad, or Thaddeus and he plays like on the lacrosse team or the hockey team, be careful about making a sex tape with him. I would say that. Hey, Hallie, I just discovered your podcast and I love it. But I wanted to text you because I'm 19 years old and still have not gotten my first kiss or anything. And I feel honestly stressed about it because I feel so inexperienced compared to everyone. Your podcast is way too advanced for my level, but I absolutely love every episode. Please let me know if you have any tips about first kisses, first everythings, and what your experience was for all the firsts. This is so sweet and wholesome. Honestly, I love you and I love that you're listening. And yes, a lot of the shit that comes out of my mouth and goes into it, honestly, is fucking insane. But, you know, we've all had our firsts. I don't think a first at 15 is different from a first at 21, really. We all get those butterflies. We all get nervous. We all get nervous to like lean in. Like, am I going to be a good kisser? Like all this shit. My first kiss was when I was 12 years old, which is so young. And it was with my neighbor on Nantucket, and it was on like the tennis courts in our little like gated clubhouse community of Nantucket, Massachusetts. It was honestly romantic as fuck. I remember earlier that day I was like planning out this kiss with this guy. I was kind of a slut at 12, honestly, now that I think about it. But like a thing we used to do in Nantucket is we'd go to the candy store Force 5, shout out. And we just like, you know, get a bag of candy. Like we were young kids. Like that's what we do. And I remember I went to Force 5 in town that one day. I went to the candy shop and there was Pop Rocks on the shelf. And I go, oh my God, like I need my first kiss to be at Pop Rocks. Like that's sick. So my first kiss was with Pop Rocks in my mouth. It was insane. And I was like insane for it. But honestly, kind of a savage first kiss move. Was I nervous? Abso-fucking-lutely. You don't know what you're good at like when you're like doing any firsts. But I would say a first kiss, don't think too much into it. You know, I don't think it matters what age you're at having a first kiss. They're all just like just have fun with it. Be flirty. Don't force it. Let the mood be right. Make sure it's in a setting where you feel comfortable and safe. If you're like over analyzing your first kiss, maybe consider who your first kiss is with. Make sure you feel safe with that person. But if you want it to be like a more casual thing, just like don't think too much about it. It's not that deep at the end of the day. Unless you want it to be. If you want it to have a meaningful first kiss. But I would say I wouldn't even have that perspective. I would say have loose expectations for a first kiss. If you set the bar too high, you're going to psych yourself out and maybe even be disappointed. But just have fun with it, you know? But I don't think it's terrible that you haven't had a first kiss yet. Honestly, that's kind of sweet. My first time I lost, and I want to, like, now that we're talking about first, I want to talk about, like, my first, like, time I lost my virginity. I've told this story, but I was 14. Like, at 14 or 15. And it was in the basement of my parents' house, and they were, like, upstairs. Like, it was kind of, like, crazy that I... Shut up, bitch. I haven't heard from Suri in, like, years.
She's kind of quiet.
Yeah, she's really quiet.
She kind of fell off.
No, Suri fell off. Her engagement's low. So it was both our firsts. Well, he said he had hooked up with someone before, but I think he was lying to me. Like, he was, like, 2 years older than me, and I was like, it was like definitely our first, and I really wanted to like fuck. I remember like really like mentally I was like, I'm ready to have sex. Like I'm ready for it. I've always kind of been like a sexual person, even at the age of fucking 14, 15. I feel like I was ready to fucking go. But I was nervous because I remember the first time I gave head, I wasn't good at it, and he told me, he was like, you're really bad at this. Because I was overthinking it. I was overanalyzing sucking dick until one day I was like, wait, sucking dick is the equivalent to like going to like, it's like pottery. It's like a craft. Like what shape am I going to make today? It's like a skill. It's like poetry with your mouth, you know? Like every time's different almost. I feel like the less I like started overanalyzing it and like thinking about rules in my head about sex, kissing, you know, giving head, the better at it I was. Like the more like loose with it I was, and the more like free spirited I was with it. But the first time I had sex, sorry, get back to that. I went on a tangent. He was so nervous, and he put the condom on in the bathroom because he didn't want to do it in front of me. And he was in the bathroom of the basement for like 30 minutes. Honestly, part of me thinks he probably like jerked off or something. I don't even know. Like it was, but I remember like he was the first guy I ever fucked or did anything with, really. Like the first guy I went past second base with was with him. It was all within a month. So like me getting fingered, me like sucking dick, giving a hand job, and sex all happened within 4 weeks, which was crazy to me. But honestly, I was like, I can get this shit over with. I need to start practicing. And this guy had a big dick. So I was like, it was like, after him, I was like, oh, everyone else's dick is small. But I remember it hurt so much the first time. And no one loses their virginity and it's fucking epic and sick. I don't believe in that. I feel like that's a bunch of like bullshit. I think it's very awkward and like uncomfortable. And I remember it being like kind of choppy. You know, like choppy waters. No one finished. Maybe he did. He probably did. But like I don't think I finished from sex until I figured out like how to ride. Once you figure out how to like be on top, you don't need to know anything else. Once you like can figure out how to finish on top or how to introduce a vibrator into sex, I feel like you're fine. Let's get into like some other first now that we're on this topic. And, you know, production wrote these down. So this guy also the guy I lost my virginity to, he was super, super paranoid about like getting me pregnant, which I feel like everyone should be, you know, like in high school, like wear a condom. And we wore a condom every single time. Not necessarily because he was worried about STDs, because obviously I wasn't fucking anyone else when I was 15. But it was more so like he thought any raw penis going inside of me, oh, baby made. The amount of times I took Plan B unwarrantedly, even if the condom would like loosely break, he would be like, Plan B now. And I'm like, but I don't want to. It's expensive. Okay. So I remember I had a pregnancy scare. It wasn't a pregnancy scare. I was on birth control and I was really bad at taking it. So I'd spot a lot and my period would be like, sometimes I would load up. If I was going to get my period, but I was going to see my boyfriend that weekend, I would take like 9 of my pills. I would literally OD on birth control to push it off to Monday. And so I remember like it really fucked up my period once and he thought I was pregnant and it was like a whole thing and he was like crying. It was like a whole fucking thing. But no, I wasn't pregnant. First drink of alcohol, also in Nantucket. I remember it was like the summer where like everyone started drinking. And like we'd get in the woods and like just like for some reason we thought like the only way we could get away with drinking would be like in the woods. I'm like, why are we always in the woods? I feel like that's a universal experience though. Like drinking in high school, like why am I in the fucking woods? I was like 14 though when I had my first drink of alcohol. And I also was like trying to get away with it. So I'd go into my parents' liquor cabinet, steal every clear liquid of alcohol and then put it in a water bottle. And then I would go out and I'd get like, take 2 shots of whatever concoction I made and then come home and just lie on my back and just have the fucking spins. But I didn't get too fucked up the first time I ever drank. I remember it being really scary and I thought it was so cool. And I was like the first one to ever drink in my friend group. I was the youngest, but I also went to like an all-girls Catholic school. So people like were a lot more buttoned up. Also, my older sister was a bit of a late bloomer when it came to like the social scene in middle school and high school. She didn't start drinking until like 17, 18. So like I was like my parents' first experience with like a kid that was getting fucked up. They grounded me for 9 months and sent me to karate as my punishment when I got alcohol poisoning. Because I did get alcohol poisoning before Sweet 16 one time. It was traumatic for everyone. But it was kind of iconic. First time clubbing. I mean, I wouldn't consider the Chicken Box really clubbing. It's like the like big dive bar in Nantucket. All my fucking alcohol related experiences were on Nantucket. Because the weather's warm. You want to have a little sip of alcohol. Or Aruba. I think the drinking age in Aruba, where I have timeshare at, like it's like the age is 12 where you can start drinking there. But it was definitely either like Chicken Box when I was 15, when I would like sneak into the Chicken Box. But like my first real club was probably Marquee in New York City, which is a Canada event for every New York bitch. First STI scare. I mean, I've gotten chlamydia once. And honestly, it was rude. This older gentleman gave me chlamydia. He wasn't even that old. He was like 36. He gave me chlamydia and I remember being like, oh my God, you gave me chlamydia. And I remember telling him, I'm like, oh my God, you gave me fucking chlamydia. And he's like, oh my God, I only give my favorite girls chlamydia. And I was like, you're a fucking asshole, but I fell for it. My first threesome was in college with my roommate. And I think I've told this story where it was on Nantucket. It was also on Nantucket. It was the 4th of July. And it was the first time a guy had showed like sexual interest in me after my breakup with my ex-boyfriend. And I was scared to have sex with someone else alone. So I was like, Margot, like, you think this guy's hot? She's like, yeah. I was like, wait, let's just have a threesome with him. So we had a threesome with him. We blessed his life. He was so excited. I remember like he didn't even have his clothes on yet. And he was like calling all of his friends. I think he called his like dad even. He was like, guess what just happened? He's like running out of there. It was really funny. But yeah, that was my first threesome. First sex toy was like a massive fucking dildo, I think. I was crazy though. Like my first sex toy, like I remember like I would shop for them in like bunches. Like I have every sex toy in the book probably at this point. A lot of brands gift me them too. But the first one I bought myself, and I feel bad because I bought it on my mom's credit card, but like whatever. I was probably 15. It was when I was like watching massage room porn and I was like, you know what? I need a vibrator because my hand like can't do what it's supposed to do. Like that's when I realized like what vibrators were, is when like I couldn't like use my I was getting like carpal tunnel. My fucking wrists were about to break off. But it was probably just like one of those like wands or a dildo. I think I got them both together. First time experimenting with a kink. Probably in college again. I was tied up to a bed with like this it was like restraints on like both my arms and legs. I feel like all my kinks came in one big batch though. Like slap, spitting, choking. Like I really liked choking for a while, like until I was literally blue in the face. I loved getting choked out, but now it just kind of annoys me. I don't know. Light choking's fine, but I don't want to like pass out. That's insane. First time finding porn on the desktop in the kitchen. I remember I saw like a 50 Cent music video and I was like, oh my God, in the club. And I like felt like things like butterflies. Yeah, those are my firsts. Let's go for one more DM. Hallie, this Memorial Day weekend, my friend wanted to bring me on a double date with her man she's been seeing recently, who's French Canadian. He's super loaded. Love that. Drives a Rolls Royce truck. Sick property near the beach in Fort Lauderdale. More of the very long story ends up taking forever to respond, but we had plans to come to his house at 9 and we end up showing face at 11 p.m. We walk in on these 3 men circle jerking each other the fuck off while these 3 Russian escorts watch them doing so in the hot tub. Yeah, insane. I thought you'd get a kick out of the story. I would get a kick out of the story. I think I responded to this girl and I never reply to these. I always just screenshot and send it to you. I replied to this girl. I was like, this is iconic. And you are iconic. I don't know. My jaw would be detached from my body if I walked into like men like fucking jerking each other off. That's like a humiliation ritual, right? But also like kind of gay. Like I have so many questions, okay? Did these Russian escorts like force them to do it? Like why are they there? Do they need the Russian escorts there to do this? I mean, if you're a man jerking any man off, you're a little gay. Even if there's a gun to your head. I don't know. Also, like, why are there escorts there if this is someone's boyfriend and you're supposed to be going on a double date? They're gay, babe. This is insane. This is like one of the most insane DMs I've ever gotten. So you showed up 2 hours late. So they're like, okay, this is what we're going to do. Call the escorts and have the escorts just like stand by while we jerk each other off. I would run in the other direction, babe. But yeah, that would turn me off, I think. I don't think I would like that. Do guys do that? Like when girls aren't in the room, when their girlfriends aren't there, they just like jerk each other off. That's what Graydon thinks. He thinks everyone's always just jerking each other off. And that all men are gay. On the spectrum, gay. That's what like guys think girls do at sleepovers is jerk each other off. That doesn't happen. We don't have pillow fights. I mean, I get really cuddly and touchy with my friends, but like no, I don't finger blast them into fruition. We don't have fingering circles. That would be crazy. Imagine if we had a pie off and we're all just like fucking fingering each other's pies in a circle with male escorts around. No, that's not a thing. But anyways, these are crazy. Please send me more DMs like this. Like, please. The more DMs, the better. I will always read them. And do I not? I'm always a woman of my word. But anyways, let's close out the episode there. As always, you guys can watch me on YouTube, listen to me on any other platform, like, comment, subscribe, all the beautiful good things. As always, I fucking love you guys. You're a bunch of little weird freaks in the best way possible. And I'll see you next week. Bye. Besos, mi.